Jeff Sachs here. If you've been watching the news, there's a lot of uncertainty about Social Security. You know, people want to know if it's at risk for ending, if they're going to get less in their checks. They also want to know about these in-person changes that we've been talking about on the news here. And this is really important because more than 70 million people get Social Security, whether we're talking about retirees or people with disabilities, of course, their families as well. So Jeff Sachs from Sachs Financial is here to kind of help us sort through some of the noise. And I don't want to be, too subjective here, but it just feels like chaos. There's just so much in the news cycle, really hard to keep up with.
There is.
Can you at least start with the main changes? A lot of people think that if they have to go into an office now to verify their identity, that's really going to slow up the whole system, because also there are Doge layoffs as well. So can you just talk about the main changes?
Yeah, first, thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for being here, I should
absolutely.
say. Absolutely.
There's been a lot of changes going on, but I want to start with good news.
Okay.
For most people that are already filing their Social Security, nothing's going to change. If you get a check, you don't have to do anything. This change that is happening, which is requiring people to go into an office, is if they can't go online. So the first thing to do, if you are changing something about your Social Security, like where that check is going, what bank account it's going to, or if you're starting a filing from day one, like you're retiring today. If you can't do it online, which is what they recommend at My Social Security or SSA.gov, if you can't do that, they'll start the process over the phone, but then to do an actual verification, they're no longer taking it over the phone, so you would have to go into the office.
Okay.
That's the only time that's going to happen. And I think they're trying to do that to get more and more people to go online because of all of these layoffs and cuts to the Social Security Administration.
Okay, so again, if you already get Social Security, you don't have to worry about it. My dad and I have had these conversations because I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Because I'm like half listening sometimes, to his concerns, but it sounds like we're okay there. But I do worry about people who have to go into an office.
It's hard. A lot of my clients are worried about, is Social Security going to be there? And it's not going to go away. It may change a little bit. And you don't necessarily have to go into the office. So again, for most people that are already getting it, it's not going to affect anybody.
Okay. And I remember last time we talked, it was probably a few months ago, or like at the beginning of the year, we talked about the Social Security Fairness Act. We talked about retroactive payments. Is that still going through? Because ultimately, wasn't it a push by the Biden administration?
Yep. Originally, when it came out, they said, it's going to take forever for SSA.gov or for the Social Security Administration to change the systems and update payments and figure out who gets what. And they prioritized it and said, instead of it taking a year, they want to get all of those extra payments out this month. So according to the Social Security Administration, if you're entitled to those extra payments, and those are people that had a pension whose Social Security was reduced because they had a government pension or a job that didn't pay into Social Security, that's now gone away. So there's retroactive payments that will go out. Theoretically, they should go out this month, with the idea that if you're getting an increase in your Social Security, that will start happening next month.
Okay. Hey, can I just say this, because we have one viewer, Dolores. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for watching, Dolores. She said, retired teacher here. I just got my letter from SSA yesterday explaining changes. Got my lump sum payment 2 weeks ago for 2024 through February 2025. My new monthly payment goes up over $400 a month. So that really helps. And then she said, since we all pay in, we are only getting what they owe us. I was only getting 30% of what I paid in since 1973.
Yes, at least you're getting a little bit back from last year. So obviously they couldn't go back to the beginning of time and pay everybody back what they were owed. So it's nice that they're stepping up a little bit and saying, hey, you paid into this. We did this for a lot of reasons many years ago, and we're correcting a mistake.
Okay, so then will there be anyone who's getting less in their checks?
Not right now.
Okay.
So that fear comes from the talk about Social Security going away, or the Social Security running out of money. And the trust fund, which is supplemental to how Social Security is actually structured, is theoretically going to run out of money in about 10 years. I think Congress will do something, hopefully, to change it, because so many people, 50% of people that are retired rely on Social Security. And as you get older, that reliance on Social Security as your main source of income increases. So I don't think that the federal government is going to allow this to fully collapse. But remember, Social Security, the way it's structured, if we are still working, part of our check every month or every 2 weeks goes in to pay for Social Security benefits. So Social Security as a whole will never go away unless we abolish all taxes from our income.
Ooh, but would you rather not have Social Security or abolish all taxes from your income?
If we could go back to having pensions, maybe,
Yeah.
but this is a way to make sure that those of us that didn't do a good job saving, that need some help to live, to maintain some sort of livelihood in retirement, have a little bit of dollars.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so do you have any lasting thoughts? We're almost out of time for this segment.
Don't worry so much about Social Security going away.
Okay.
If you're already getting Social Security, it's not going to change. And those people that are getting increases like Dolores, it only affects about 3% of the total, about 3 million people. So you might not even see it.
I mean, 3 million is a lot, but when
It
you're
is.
looking at like 72 million, I
That-
get it.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, thank you. And guess what? Jeff's going to stick around, answer some of your questions. So you stick around too and text us 314-425-5355. Get your questions in about Social Security. Or you can sneak in a financial question, I guess, if you want to outside of that. But we are really focused on Social Security today. Thank
Sounds
you.
good.
You are so amazing.
Oh,
I just
thanks.
feel so smart, so much smarter.